You might scroll through a feed and feel surrounded, yet empty, because the number of people who see your posts isn't the same thing as the people who know you, respond when you're struggling, or show up in real life. Many studies and expert analyses point to several consistent reasons for that gap. Social platforms encourage shallow interactions. Algorithms prioritize what's engaging over what's meaningful, and curated self-presentation increases social comparison instead of connection. Instead of sustained two-way exchanges, we get brief likes, emojis, and comments that rarely move past the surface. As a result, the emotional payoff you expect from belonging or support often doesn't arrive, and the mismatch between visibility and intimacy can heighten loneliness rather than relieve it. Psychological mechanisms matter here. People form deeper bonds through reciprocity, shared vulnerability, and mutual investment, all of which require time and focused attention. Online environments scatter attention and reward broadcast behavior, so it becomes easy to accumulate many weak ties while the handful of close ties that provide emotional support get neglected. Parasocial interactions, where one party knows a lot about another without true mutuality, can also feel like friendship but lack the give and take that sustains it. Social comparison plays a role too. Seeing curated highlights from many people makes your own life feel lacking, and that feeling doesn't get better just because more eyes are on your posts. Practical steps can close that gap. First, prioritize depth. Intentionally invest in a small number of relationships and treat social platforms as tools for coordination, not substitutes for presence. Reach out with open-ended questions, send voice messages instead of just reacting, and turn online chats into scheduled calls or meetups when possible. Second, create rituals that build reciprocity. Regular check-ins, shared projects, or group activities that require cooperation and time together. Third, audit how you use platforms. Reduce passive scrolling, mute accounts that trigger comparison, and limit posting that's designed only for broad visibility. Instead, post content that invites conversation and signals vulnerability, which tends to attract people willing to engage more deeply. Real examples show how this works. People who convert followers into community often do so by forming smaller groups, like private chats or local meetups, where mutual support can develop. Creators who strengthen real friendships prioritize direct messages, collaborations, and offline gatherings over chasing broader reach. And individuals who report better well-being schedule face-to-face time or synchronous calls rather than relying solely on asynchronous reactions. Any shift toward meaningful connection requires setting boundaries around attention, being intentional about who you nurture, and accepting that quantity of contacts is not the same as quality of relationship. If you want specific habits to try this week, start by picking 2 or 3 people you'd like to know better and reach out with something concrete. A shared memory, a question about how they're doing, or an invitation to meet. Replace 1 hour of passive browsing with 1 hour of active connection. A call, a walk with a friend, or a focused conversation in a small group. Practice asking for support when you need it and offering in return, because reciprocity builds trust. Finally, remember that it's okay to curate your online life to protect your attention. Fewer, richer connections will usually bring more satisfaction than broad but shallow recognition. In brief, having many visible followers doesn't automatically create the mutual care, vulnerability, and sustained attention that friendship requires. So shifting habits from broadcasting to cultivating will make your relationships feel more real. Thanks for watching. If this resonated, please like and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment about your own experiences or questions, and stay tuned for future videos where we'll dive into practical exercises for building deeper connections and translating online interactions into lasting friendships.